You're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Yamaha has finally shed some light on its latest V4 engine project, which has been much discussed in the MotoGP paddock. Although still in the early stages of development, the Iwata-based manufacturer has confirmed that the project is proceeding according to plan, albeit with a cautious approach. For now, the full performance of the V4 engine has not been fully unleashed due to safety and reliability concerns. Yamaha emphasized that they are not rushing to achieve maximum power, but are instead focusing on long-term stability and engine durability under the extreme conditions of MotoGP racing. Yamaha's grand plan is to officially launch this V4 engine on the MotoGP grid in the 2026 season. However, they have also left open the possibility of the debut being pushed back to 2027, depending on how development progresses over the next 2 years. This move marks a major shift from the inline-4 engine philosophy that has been Yamaha's hallmark in MotoGP. With the V4, Yamaha hopes to challenge the dominance of Ducati and KTM's V4 engines, which have proven superior in terms of power delivery and top speed. Here's the full news. Yamaha has finally emerged from the shadow of tradition. After decades of steadfast adherence to the inline-4 engine configuration, they have now officially confirmed that development of a V4 engine is underway at their headquarters in Iwata, Japan. This project could be the boldest step Yamaha has taken since they first entered the Premier Grand Prix class. However, the road to the V4 engine's debut has not been easy, quick, or certain. To date, the project is still in its early stages, and testing has been very limited. Yamaha has even openly stated that they have not yet extracted the full power from the prototype engine. This is not due to technological limitations, but rather a conscious decision to ensure the engine's long-term safety and reliability. According to sources within the team, internal testing in Japan has demonstrated the V4 engine's immense potential, particularly in terms of power output and throttle response, two areas where Yamaha has historically struggled compared to Ducati and KTM. However, Yamaha remains conservative, unwilling to repeat past mistakes of rushing into introducing an engine evolution that wasn't fully mature. "We don't want to just create an engine that's fast for 1 or 2 laps," said a Yamaha engineer. "Our target is a bike that can fight every lap, every race, all season long. And that takes time." Why did Yamaha finally switch to a V4? This historic decision wasn't made without pressure. In recent seasons, Yamaha's performance had lagged significantly in the areas of top speed and acceleration. Inline-4 engines do have smooth characteristics, ideal for cornering and control, but increasingly, MotoGP circuits and modern racing styles demand a more aggressive power delivery, and that's exactly what the V4 engine delivers. While Ducati continued to dominate with its straight-line power, Yamaha struggled with the same technical issues over and over again. A lack of power exiting corners, being easily left behind on the straights, and difficulty overtaking in high-speed sections. Even their star rider, Fabio Quartararo, once called the M1 unarmed. These complaints were a strong signal that ultimately prompted the change. Furthermore, the arrival of Alex Rins, who previously raced for Suzuki and Honda, also increased internal pressure on Yamaha. Rins, who has experienced various engine types, provided important insight into the fundamental weaknesses of Yamaha's current bike compared to its rivals. Debut target, 2026, but could be pushed back to 2027. Yamaha's V4 engine is scheduled to make its official debut on the MotoGP grid in the 2026 season. However, Yamaha is also allowing flexibility in development. If the engine is not fully ready by the end of 2025, the debut will be pushed back to 2027 to avoid failure in a competitive season. This move contrasts sharply with rivals like Ducati or KTM, which tend to be more aggressive in technical development. However, for Yamaha, quality and durability are paramount. They don't just want to show up, but want to show up and be immediately competitive. "We don't want to enter just to please the media or fans. We want to enter fully armed, ready to fight, not just to show up," emphasized a Yamaha racing official. More than just an engine, it's about identity. For Yamaha, the transition to the V4 isn't just a technical change, it's about identity. The inline-4 engine has been part of their DNA since the days of Kenny Roberts, Valentino Rossi, and Jorge Lorenzo. But modern MotoGP has changed. Top speed, stability under hard braking, and acceleration out of corners are now more important than ever. And all of these are the hallmarks of the V4 engine. Yamaha now faces a dual challenge, rebuilding its identity as an innovative team while developing a bike capable of competing with the most advanced technology in the paddock. We are aware that this change will require time, significant resources, and may sometimes worry our fans. But this is a step we must take if we want to return to the top, said a Yamaha technical source. Future challenges: riders, testing, and time. This major step also requires significant adjustments from the riders. Fabio Quartararo, who is very used to the characteristics of an inline-4 engine, will likely need time to adapt to the transition to a bike with V4 characteristics. Yamaha will likely conduct initial testing with test riders like Cal Crutchlow before the main riders join the race. Furthermore, Yamaha is also facing a race against time. They have less than 2 seasons to perfect the new bike before it enters official competition. This includes finalizing the design, testing in various conditions, and developing a completely new electronic and aerodynamic platform. Conclusion: Yamaha's new era has begun. After years of lagging behind and being dogged by criticism from various quarters, Yamaha has finally made its biggest breakthrough in the last 2 decades. The V4 engine is more than just a design change, it symbolizes Yamaha's renewed commitment to becoming a dominant force in MotoGP. Will this engine be able to bring them back to the championship track? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, a new era for Yamaha has begun, and all eyes are now on the 2026 season. Jack Miller, an Australian rider currently riding for the Pramac Yamaha satellite team, made a surprising statement regarding the development of Yamaha's latest V4 engine, which is scheduled to debut in the 2026 MotoGP season. In an interview after a closed-door test at the Jerez circuit, Miller candidly revealed the various shortcomings he still perceives in the V4 engine prototype. The V4 engine represents Yamaha's ambitious move to catch up with rival teams like Ducati, KTM, and Aprilia, which have long relied on the V4 configuration in their motorcycle development. Yamaha itself has for years been loyal to the inline-4 i4 engine, which is known for its smoother performance but lacks in acceleration and top speed on the straights. This transition represents one of the boldest projects in the Iwata-based manufacturer's history. However, according to Miller, Yamaha's V4 is far from ready. The engine is indeed strong. It has ferocious power, especially when the throttle is fully opened on the straights. But its strengths are actually its weaknesses elsewhere, Miller told the media. The throttle response is still too harsh, especially when exiting slow corners. The rear tire often loses grip, even with traction control active. This makes the bike very difficult to control consistently. Furthermore, Miller also highlighted issues with engine braking and stability during hard braking into corners. The feeling under heavy braking is completely different compared to the i4 bike. The bike feels wilder, and you have to completely readjust your riding style. I can adapt, but for other riders who are used to the Yamaha's previous character, this can be a big challenge, he explained. Miller, who has previously raced for Ducati and KTM, has extensive experience with V4 configured bikes. This makes his comments a valuable reference for Yamaha. I know the character of the Ducati's V4, and I also know its strengths and weaknesses. But Yamaha still needs time to reach that level, Miller continued. Despite his criticism, Miller expressed optimism about the project. He believes Yamaha's bold move to make radical changes is commendable. Yamaha has been comfortable with the i4's characteristics for too long. But the MotoGP world is changing and they realize that.
I see her rolling Holding up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's